Hey all, here OSNVDXtrees.com. Today we're taking a first look at a quite bizarre piece of technology. This is the Happy Hamster, the carefree and playful pet. Essentially, this is a robot hamster that has wheels on it, and it allows the device to roll around in a hamster ball, or perhaps just a hamster itself if you want to take it out of the ball. And it basically is a simulated electronic pet instead of a real hamster, as you might expect. And it runs around. It runs on electricity rather than food, of course. And so it's a very low-cost solution, especially for kids, maybe even for pets like cats and perhaps dogs, curious dogs out there. It's basically a very again, low-cost efficient way to have a simulated hamster go around. The Happy Hamster is quite ironically also sold at pet stores like Petsco, but also at Target and stores like Walmart and Amazon.com. It's very inexpensive at only $15 each. You can also get it on sale right now at Petsco for only $5. So again, it's very cheap, especially for the technology it provides, which is basically a robotic toy. So for something that has robotics on it, I thought it might be a little bit more expensive, but it is very cheap, which is a plus side to the device. It does look very cute, but again, it says realistic running action. This device was actually first patented in 1997, so it's been selling in stores for quite a while. It's actually been, again, a long time coming. So if you see this device, perhaps in a vintage store that was sold maybe, 8 years ago, you'll certainly, won't be too fathomed or surprised because it has been selling for that long. Again, on the back it says more information. I was going to run without my ball, as you can see here, 1998, made in China, and the company itself, again, is distributed in America, and this just shows you some instructions on how to remove the device to change out the AAA battery the device runs on. One AAA battery will allow you to play with this device for around, I would say, about 5 months before you need to really replace it, which is pretty good battery life if you consider that aspect. You plug in the ball like so, and it's going to run around like so. As far as robotics are concerned, the Happy Hamster isn't the most advanced piece of kit that we've seen, especially because the motions of the running motion basically is just in one direction the entire time. It isn't one direction in terms of it's just going to go straight, but it actually goes in a circular motion because the wheels are gridded differently, and it's going to continue going in the circular motion to minimize, I guess, the surface area that it travels on. But if you are in a hardwood surface, there are ridges on the floor like tiles, it's going to try to actually go and move, and it might get detracted from the different edges on the tiles. It's actually going to go along the edges of the tiles like a train or something. It's going to go in a square-like motion when it's traveling, so that's kind of interesting. So if you have any ridges on the ground, it's actually going to follow the ridge instead of the surface itself, because the wheels aren't strong enough to go past the ridges. So it's actually going to go in a line like so, which is kind of neat to some degree. Now in the box, you basically just have the hamster itself and the wheel, which you have to assemble, and that's basically it. So taking a look, again, the device comes in actually different colors as well. This is the brown, whitish hamster. It also comes in a blackish version as well, so different colors. The fur on the hamster, again, it isn't too realistic, to be quite honest. It basically looks extremely like a toy and like a real hamster, as you might expect. But again, for the price of only, again, $15, you can't really be expecting too much, I can say that. And on the back here, basically just a power on and off, and that's basically it. It's just going to continue running until the battery runs out or until you power it off, so it's not too fancy, again, as far as robotics are concerned. So turning it on, you can see it starts running. There isn't an emergency shut-off function, which is something that reviewers in the past have noted. For example, if hair gets tied or caught in the wheels, it's not going to automatically stop until it has to stop because the hair has basically destroyed the engine or something like that. So it's not the most safe, most advanced piece of robotry and technology out there, but it does work and does the job as a basic piece of kit. So you can see that the reason why it runs in a circle is because on the left, the wheels have these ridges, but on the right, the wheel is entirely flush. So it allows the device to run in a projected circular motion, again, unless you have those edges on the tiles. So without the ball itself, you can see that the device actually runs best. It's actually going to start running like so, and it's going to bump into walls, and it's going to try and go past them, but it really can't. So it just goes like so. It walks in a radius of about 2 feet. It's going to continue going on and on and on and on before it falls off. And it seems to be pretty rugged, so it won't, break if it falls off a table or a surface. And it's definitely amusing for cats and pets in the house. They will try and follow it around and try and catch it. It's going to try and go under sofas as well, so it's pretty fun to play around with kids as well as for pets. It is very small. It is pretty easy to get lost, however. Also, the device doesn't run very well on carpet, and if you put on any soft surface, it's going to not move at all. It's going to remain stuck and not want to go anywhere. Also, we found that sometimes the ball was a hit and miss. For our review model, the ball actually was a miss, unfortunately. It actually wouldn't go very far with the ball on it. And putting it into the ball, basically the hamster refused to really move at all. It was just vibrating in and out. And closing the lid up, you can see how it just closes up like so. Supposedly you would put it down here, it's going to move, but it really moves only to a limited extent. It just vibrates in and out, and then basically that's it. So it's a little bit disappointing in that department. It doesn't move very far or as fast as you might expect. It basically just vibrates here, and that's how it moves. So it is a little bit disappointing, not as good as it is outside of the box. But again, it still is a pretty cute solution, and again, it is pretty amusing. We just found that for some reviewers out there, the ball actually moved very fast, which I couldn't really understand why. For our review model, it still worked best just as a guinea pig itself. So this has been a very amusing first look at the Happy Hamster here at osmtextrees.com, the robotic moving hamster. Thanks for watching.